Hi and welcome to this special edition of Winner's Corner. In this program we'll dig deep into Norrbotten Stora Pris, a fine race over 2,140 meters with 1 million Swedish crowns to the winner. It takes place at Boden racetrack and it's an evening meet. The race starts at 10:45 p.m. But don't worry, there will be light because the sun never settles in Boden this time of the year. Harry, what do you think of this year's version of Norrbotten Stora Pris?
Yeah, I say time and time again, it's just so fantastic to live in Sweden at this time of the year because we have harness racing of the best in the world all week, every week.
Yeah. Let's go through the race now, and we start with the first horse, who is Scratch. That is number 1, Sorbe. He won't be coming to start, so we jump straight on to number 2, Nadal Broline, driven by Ulf Olsson. He did a great race in the Elitloppet final, where he ended up 3rd. How do you rate him in this race?
He's a great competitor. He's slowly and surely now coming into his own. We watch this race here, unbelievably strong. And Nadal Broline is a winner. He knows where the winning line is. Ray Orlando's got a star, and we're going to be seeing a lot more of Nadal Broline.
Number 3, Call Me Keeper, is driven by Per Linderoth, and this is Daniel Redén. He has 2 horses here now in this race after Sorbe has been scratched. He got 2nd in Harper Hanover's during the Elitloppet weekend. What did you think of his performance there?
Yeah, I was actually rather disappointed, to be honest. Also in Örebro, I felt that he left his run far too late, finished like a rocket, so there's nothing wrong with Call Me Keeper. But you brought up an interesting point earlier today, and everybody thinks he's just a long-distance runner. In fact, the trainer, Daniel Redén, says he thinks that 2,140 is a better distance. I'm still a little bit unsure about Call Me Keeper. He's a great horse, but I don't see him finishing in the first 3.
Okay, then we move on then to horse number 4. That is Make the Mark, driven by Björn Goop. He's a great finisher, but he's only won 1 race this year.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, Make the Mark has made his mark. One of the first horses from the great Maharaja, who you all know I have a love affair with. Amazing horse, Maharaj. And I can just say that Make the Mark has met high-class competition all the way through his career. The fact that he hasn't had a win in his last 9 races doesn't disappoint me because he's really met the best. He's a great horse, but he's not ready yet to come right up to the top. But he's going to be 4th, 5th, 6th.
I know that you are quite fond of number 5, Digital Ink, trained and driven by Robert Berg. He won a couple of races in the beginning of the year. What did you think of his last race at Bergsåker in the end of May, where he ended up 2nd?
Yeah, actually, Ulf Olsson said after the race he should never have lost the race because he couldn't get the earplugs out in time. And in fact, he's a fantastic performer, Digital Ink. We go back to the days where we met Mosaic Face in the Derby. We're talking about an international star of rang, of a high ratings. Been away, he's had all kinds of problems, sent now to stable Robert Berg. Robert Berg seems to have got new life into Digital Ink. And the day that Digital Ink decides to show his best, he'll knock them all out.
Sounds promising for Digital Ink. We move on to horse number 6, that is Arasi Bucco, trained by the Italian trainer Alessandro Gucciadoro, here driven by Jorma Kontio. Arasi Bucco, he won Sweden Cup. He won both the heat and the final, impressed everybody. But this far, he's only been out over sprint distance this year. How will he handle the full distance?
I know, but just looking at Alessandro Gucciadoro, I love the Italian. His horses are in amazing form, and even although he won the Swedish Cup, the qualifier and the final, which says a lot, 2 races like that in one day, I think he's going to stay the distance. I don't think there's going to be a problem. Then, of course, as I say, he's so fast out that I think he could take the lead, and there he's got a very, very good chance of dictating who he lets it go to. And I think in the end, it's going to be propulsion that gets the better of him.
Number 7, Napaskar, driven and trained by Per Lennartsson. He was facing Arasibuco in both the heat and the final of Sweden Cup. Ended up third in both races. What impact will they make in this race?
I don't think any impact at all. I take my hat off. Third in the Sweden Cup, that's fine. But he's not up to the class here.
Number 8, on-track Piraten. He has Johnny Takter back in the sulky. And what do you say about this fine horse? Everybody loves on-track Piraten.
Everybody loves on-track Piraten, and as you know, your commentator loves Johnny Takter. He's the only driver that's ever made a commentator cry up the straight. And I can just say that you can't help but admire Hans Strömberg for his performance with this horse on-track Piraten. He's been there year in, year out, always produces the goods, but I think he's at the end of a long and successful career. But great to see them together, and especially Johnny Takter.
And then we have a couple of horses in the second row behind the gate, and that is number 9, Dante Bucco, driven by Erik Adelsson. Most bettors do not put a lot of trust in this equipage in this race.
Rightfully so. He was actually back down to favoritism to win the lottery races in Italy. It didn't show at all. He was an absolute dismal performances. He's come back to Sweden. Again, we all trusted that he would do relatively well and maybe gain a place amongst the best. He just hasn't lived up to it. And either the horse is not well, but he's definitely not in form, and I don't give him a chance.
And then finally we have number 10, Propulsion, the great Propulsion, driven by the great Örjan Kihlström. Here we see him again in the final of the Elitloppet. Second there.
What a finish. Have a look at that finish. You tell me about a propeller. He is flying. Of course, the winner there is great, the winner of the elite race there, Jerry Reardon's Ringo Starr Treb. But Propulsion is definitely the one that's finishing fastest of all.
And now, though, he has lane 10. Instead of last year, he had the second draw. Does he have any obstacles, you think, that will?
Yeah, I mean, all these horses are so good, and I mean, the slightest mistake costs dearly. But I just really feel that in this particular run of it, with draw 10, it's a sort of a handicap to Propulsion, but it's not a big enough handicap. Propulsion will absolutely wipe them out up the straight, and I see that Propulsion literally flying, and I'm going to be commentating tomorrow night, and I can promise you I'm going to tell you all to go to the payout queue early.
Okay, then. What about the second and third horse in this race? Who will they be? If you give us a straight trifecta.
Yes, a straight trifecta.
Straight trifecta.
Not a two combination.
Oh, two combination if you want.
Okay, I'm putting Propulsion to win, and behind that in second place, 2 Nadal Broline and 6 Aratsiboko, and in third place 2 Nadal Broline and 6 Aratsiboko. So it costs you two combinations.
Thank you so much, Harry, for all your facts and information. And with that, I wish you the best of luck if you place a bet in this race. And of course, you find out additional information about Swedish trotting and horse betting at our website, swedishhorseracing.com. Now, enjoy this fantastic race at Boden Racetrack this Saturday night. Bye-bye.